It just affected my wife. She was like, not paying an accountant.
To take away from all the other sports.
Play? Did you play soccer?
Younger.
Hmm?
We
My kid
ready?
played. I played 1 year. 4th grade.
What in the world?
I wish I would have stuck with it. I like soccer.
I can't get
Oh, are Al and Carl there?
just Al. I'll move Amy's on video. I'll move her over.
Oh, Amy.
I don't
Good afternoon.
I do.
Please bear with us. We're I don't think we're
I can't record. It says recording pause, but it won't go back to recording. I don't know.
do you have to X them out again or do we want to need to get a hold of Matt Hill?
You don't hit the play button there?
Oh, there. Alrighty, there we go.
Okay. It is 1:01 p.m. and after sitting in chilly weathers, viewing a road out in our county, we are back in session. We are joined by Amy Hoffman of Palmer Engineering, which is always better to see her than John Lights. And it looks like Batman and Robin are just Batman or Robin right now because it looks like Carl's not there, right?
Al, if you see Carl pop up, let me know. And
Al, do you want to be Batman or Robin? You can be Robin. So we're here to discuss our RFP approval. Take it away, Amy.
All right, thank you, commissioners. Stacy. We did the refresh this morning and the pricing came back from Freepoint and Dynegy and AEP. And of the three, Freepoint has the best rate. The market has gone up since the last time we spoke. So that is the bad news on top of the bad news that the market is up regardless over the last contracts.
Shocker.
So
Yeah,
we are, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I said shocker.
I know. And, you know, I just looked at the Henry Hub and the gas market, the futures market, and it looks grim for the next, 3 years on the futures market. Now, obviously that's going to change, but just looking out, that it is what it is at the moment, and it's not looking to go anywhere. So we're looking at, and then the other item that changed, and I sent an email to you all that we're now switching our recommendation to 36 months, which was always the lowest rate. But as we are still looking at solar, we are out till 2025, it looks like. And so we are recommending the 3-year contract, which again is lower than a 24-month contract. And Freepoint has the lowest pricing. Freepoint also is the supplier that does the consolidated billing, so there won't be the billing issues that we would have to deal with. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but it would have been separate billing if Dynegy would have won it. But Freepoint did, and they do consolidated billing for capacity pass-through. So recommendation 36-month contract with Freepoint. I had forwarded the contract to Stacy with where to sign and so forth.
Amy, just so I'm clear,
Yes.
we're veering away from the all-inclusive and going with the capacity pass-through.
Correct. That was our recommendation. Every county, just so that you know, is doing that. And again, we do that because you will pay what you need to pay, not more, or have surprises later on if the suppliers went lower, then it comes in and then they're going to pass it through to you anyway. And again, if they went higher than when capacity auctions come back and the pricing comes back, you're gonna lose that money. So, and it's about 20% of the entire generation cost that we're talking about, which again, remember that's 40% of your bill. So 20% of the 40% is what we're talking about that is going to be passed through on a monthly basis.
So basically it's 20% of our bill.
20% of the
If it's a half
generation
of-
portion. 20% of the of the generation.
Okay.
Yeah, so 20% of 40%.
So the generation is 40% of our bill, right?
Correct,
Of our
correct,
total bill.
approximately. Yes.
Mr. Keller, you have some experience in this. Thoughts, questions?
I think we go the pass-through route.
Clifford?
Fine. And with 36 months.
And we think 36 months because we don't see an end in sight in terms of prices going down.
Correct. And of the 3 terms, it's the lowest, which has always been our recommendation. When we would do this type of capacity pass-through, and we're looking at straight energy rates. Yes.
Okay. That's why we pay Palmer. So I guess at this time, I'll recommend that Richland County execute a contract with 3 Point Energy Solutions for term beginning with the June 2022 billing period through the May 2025 billing period.
Come on. Second.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Al, questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. When you say pass through, does that mean you'll get savings too if they should come?
So capacity pass-through is, so in the past, there have been capacity auctions that would go out 3 years out. So we always knew what the capacity rate would be. It's always in there, but it was known. Those auctions are not going out any longer. So that's why we say fix 80% the generation and then go with capacity as it comes in. Because if we did it fixed, the suppliers are estimating what it's going to be. And when we know in 23 what the next year is going to be, if the suppliers figured too high, they're not going to pass that back through. You're just going to lose that money. So we want you to pay exactly what capacity is instead of having it built in and having that unknown. Because then that's just money lost.
Okay, so in other words, this is basically a fixed fee regardless of where the market takes the price.
Correct. 80% is fixed. Correct.
The other question I have, how much is the cost going up compared to the current contract?
The current contract is, give me a second, 0.0414. And this will be 0.0508, which again is 80% fixed plus whatever capacity comes in at each.
All right, have you figured out what kind of percentage that increase that is?
I have not.
I mean, just doing some rough math, that looks like a 25% increase.
Yeah, it's, so through the years working with Richland County, through the County Commissioners Association, I think this is probably like our 5th or 6th, maybe even, 5th or 6th contract. Last 2 contracts of 3 years and 2 years have all come down. The market's been lowering, gas and electric. And then the last 12 months or so, the market has gone up, which I think everyone that's paying bills these days or reading the newspaper sees that the market's up. And so this is where we're at now.
Okay, stupid question. Is this gas or electric?
This is electric.
Okay.
And this is their facilities. This is the county facilities.
Okay, and that, what was the name of the company again?
Free
The
Point,
supplier, Free Point.
3 Point.
FREEPOINT. And ironically, as we see today, nothing is free.
Yeah, that's all the questions I had. Thank you.
That's right to the point.
Ho, ho. Anything else, Amy? Always a pleasure to see you instead of Mr. Lights.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Seeing no further business, we will go into recess when we will return at 1:30 for a public hearing on a road vacation. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It's with a tall blonde.
Get some money. All right. It is 1:30. You're back in session. You're joined by Mr. Payne from the engineer's office, Mr. Gove. This is the second time we're seeing them today. Batman or Robin and
Al.
Al's still there. Al's Robin today. We decided so. Well, Adam, we had a viewing today and a little bit of cold temperatures and Cliff talked for 3 hours. Talk to us a little bit about this road vacation.
Go into your public hearing.
Oh, actually, so we need to recess.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll go into our public hearing on the road vacation. Commissioner Vero, Commissioner Banks, Commissioner Mears, Clerk Crawl, County Administrator Stiller, Mr. Payne, Mr. Gove, office, and Al Lawrence. So talk to us.
So, as you saw at the viewing this morning, there is a small section of Possum Run Road that is no longer needed for public use after the relocation project back in 16. Both property owners, or all three property owners, were at the viewing. Nobody had any objections to vacating that public right of way. That's basically what we're looking at, vacating 0.584 acres of public road right of way that is no longer needed for public access.
Al, any questions? It does not appear any interested landowners or people in that area are here.
They were all very positive.
They were all positive. Al?
Yeah, is that like any other right-of-way vacation? Then the property goes to the adjoining property owners?
So in this case, it does not change hands because this was just an easement. The property owners owned to the center line of that easement. So it's just getting rid of the public easement portion of the road. Now, I guess as part of that, I do want to clarify that the utility, there is a utility out there, phone, I believe it is. They will continue to have the right to use that easement area. But they're the only ones that would have use of that public easement. So it's not, I don't know that you call it a public easement anymore. It's just an easement for utility rights.
We'll just call it a utility easement, right, Mr. Keller?
Let the records show he shook his head.
Andrew never likes to commit publicly. You know anything about Andrew? Someone could be ready to stick you up and he'd be like, you shouldn't do that. And Andrew would be
I
like,
have a question, engineer. Is that, that specific utility, is it grandfathered or would there be a perpetual utility easement for other?
Just for the one that is existing in the
Okay.
easement now.
Yep.
Yes.
They're grandfathered basically. Okay.
And I read that number wrong. It's 0.5488.
oh,
My dyslexia has shown through. So
we call that something differently. Any more questions, Al?
No, that's it.
So Stacy, Andrew, can we approve? Can I make a motion?
You can't right now because you're in public hearing.
Right, so I got to come out of the public hearing and into a regular session to make the motion on the resolution. Okay, 134, we will adjourn the public hearing. Now, 134, we will come back into session at your Rush County Board of Commissioners regularly scheduled meeting. This time, I'll ask for a motion that we authorize the vacation of a part of Possum Run Road in Worthington Township.
So moved. And seconded.
Rivero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Al, any questions? Seeing none, we will recess and come back into session at 2:00.
Yep.